Imagine this scene. It is the beginning of the week. You wake up inspired. You say, "This time I will change. I will study English every day. I will exercise. I will wake up early. I will do everything." You feel motivated. 2 days later, you are tired. Your day was busy. Your motivation is low. And suddenly, all those beautiful plans become heavy. You say, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. If this feels familiar, you are not alone. By the way, if you like content that helps you grow in your English and in your mindset, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It is a simple gesture, but it supports this project and helps these messages reach more people who need them. Today's topic is why motivation is overrated. We live in a culture that worships motivation. Motivational videos, motivational quotes, motivational speeches, and motivation has its place. It feels good to feel excited. It is easier to act when we are inspired. The problem is when we believe that motivation is the main ingredient for change. If I am not motivated, I cannot start. If I do not feel like it, I cannot continue. If I lose motivation, it means this is not for me. This belief quietly destroys many dreams, because motivation is like the weather. It changes. You cannot build a stable life on something that changes so much. So in this audio, we are going to explore what motivation really is, why it disappears so quickly, how this affects your English, and what you can use instead if you want real progress. Let us start with something simple. Motivation is a feeling. That is all. Sometimes it is high. Sometimes it is low. It depends on many things. Your sleep, your hormones, your stress, your environment, your last conversation, even the weather. You watch an inspiring video, your motivation goes up. You receive a criticism, your motivation goes down. It is not stable. It is not loyal. It is not designed to stay. Many people treat motivation like a reliable friend. I will wait for motivation to arrive, and then I will act. But motivation is more like a visitor. It comes. It goes. It does not always tell you when it is coming back. If you make motivation your main strategy, you are basically saying, I will move only when the visitor is here. So you move a little, then stop, then move, then stop. That is why your progress is inconsistent. Now let us connect this to English. You know this pattern. One day you are full of motivation. You buy a course. You watch videos. You say, this time I will not stop. Then life happens. You feel tired. You are busy. You listen to one audio and understand very little. Your motivation drops. You think, if I am not motivated, I cannot study now. I will wait for a better moment. Days pass. Weeks pass. Your English does not improve much. Then one day you feel motivated again. You restart. You are always starting over. The problem is not you. The problem is the strategy. You are trying to build something big using a tool that was never meant to carry that weight. Motivation is good for starting, but it is terrible for staying. So, if motivation is overrated, what should you focus on? We can talk about three things: commitment, systems, and identity. First, commitment. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Commitment asks, what did I choose before today? Motivation is emotional. Commitment is a decision. For example, motivation says, I feel excited about English. I will study. Commitment says, I decided that English is important to me. I will practice even on days when I feel nothing special. You already know how to do this in some areas. Maybe you do not feel motivated to go to work every day, but you go. Why? Because you made a commitment. You show up even when your feelings do not want to. If you want to grow in English, in health, in any important area, you need to treat it less like a hobby and more like a commitment. Not a prison, but a promise. Second, systems. Motivation asks for inspiration. Systems ask for structure. A system is simply a way you organize your actions, so you do not need to think and negotiate every day. For English, a system could be: from Monday to Friday after breakfast, I listen to English for 15 minutes and speak out loud for 10 minutes. That is it. It is clear. It has a time. It has an action. With a system, you do not wake up and ask, should I study today? Do I want to? Do I feel like it? You already know what you will do. Your feelings will still change. Some days you will do it with energy. Some days you will do it tired, with low enthusiasm. But you will do it. Systems protect you from your own oscillations. Without systems, you are always trying to make good decisions in bad moments. And in bad moments, we usually choose comfort, not growth. Third, identity. Motivation is about mood. Identity is about who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who always starts and never finishes, your actions will usually match that story. You get excited. You start. When the first difficulty comes, you think, of course, this is me. I never continue. If you begin to see yourself as someone who returns, someone who shows up even when it is not perfect, your behavior starts to change. You still have bad days. But instead of saying, I lost my motivation, I failed again, you say, today was not good. I rest. I come back tomorrow. Because this is who I am now. I am someone who returns. Identity is built through repetition. Every time you act in alignment with the person you want to be, you make that identity a little stronger. I am someone who practices English even when I am not motivated. I am someone who walks even when the sofa is calling me. This is not magic, it is repetition. Now you might be thinking, okay, but if motivation is not reliable, is it useless? No, motivation is like a spark. It can start a fire. But if you want the fire to continue, you need wood, oxygen, and someone to take care of it. The wood is your system. The oxygen is your commitment. The caretaker is your identity. Motivation is a visitor that brings the first flame. You are the one who keeps the fire alive. Let us bring this closer to your day. Imagine two versions of you. Version 1 depends on motivation. This version says, when I feel inspired, I will watch something in English. When I have a lot of energy, I will practice speaking. When I feel confident, I will use English with other people. What happens? You practice only on good days. You progress, but slowly. Your confidence stays fragile. Version 2 depends on systems and commitment. This version says, I will have daily contact with English from Monday to Friday for at least 20 minutes, no matter my mood. When I feel motivated, great, I will do more. When I do not feel motivated, okay, I will do the minimum. What happens? You practice on good days and bad days. Your progress is more stable. Your confidence grows. Same person, different approach. Now, how do you move from version 1 to version 2? You do not need a revolution. You need small, consistent changes. For example, instead of saying, I will study English for 1 hour every day, You say, I will do 20 minutes from Monday to Friday. 20 minutes is not scary. It is realistic. On days with high motivation, you can do more. On days with low motivation, you can at least do 20. Instead of waiting for motivation to appear, you choose a time. After lunch is my English time. Or, before bed, I listen to something in English. You protect that time like an appointment. Even if you are tired, you show up for the minimum. This is how you become someone who is not controlled by motivation. You will still enjoy motivation when it comes. You just will not depend on it. Before we finish, let us talk about one more thing. Sometimes you say, I am not motivated, but what you really feel is something else. You might feel confused. You do not know what to do next. Overwhelmed. You chose something too big. Afraid. You are scared of failing again. When you call all of this lack of motivation, you cannot solve it. So, try to be more specific. Ask yourself, am I really unmotivated or am I confused? If you are confused, you need clarity, not motivation. Ask, what is the next small step? Am I really unmotivated, or did I plan something too big for today? If it is too big, make it smaller. Instead of 1 hour, I will do 20 minutes. Am I really unmotivated, or am I afraid of making mistakes? If you are afraid, you need courage and kindness, not more YouTube motivation. You can say, I am afraid, but I will try for 10 minutes anyway. When you name your real state more clearly, you can respond in a smarter way. Finally, remember this. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline, systems, and identity can stay. Your future English will not be decided by how many days you felt inspired. It will be decided by how many days you acted, even without inspiration. When this audio ends, you do not need to feel a big explosion of motivation. You only need to answer 2 questions. How many minutes of English will I protect most days this week? And at what time will I do it? Make it small. Make it clear. Then, no matter how you feel, show up. Some days you will feel proud. Some days you will feel just okay. But your future self, the one who speaks with confidence, will not ask, how motivated were you in 2026? They will know only one thing. You did not wait for motivation to save you. You chose to move again and again, and that is why your life and your English changed. Thanks for watching.